Over the past couple of years, Google has released over 30 AI-powered apps, and many of them are completely free to use. This includes apps that will generate AI videos for you, create working AI-powered apps, a new AI browser that you've probably never heard of before, and even AI features hidden inside of the tools you probably already use every day. I guarantee you, if you watch this entire video, you'll learn about at least one new Google AI app that you'll want to start using today. So is it all right if I don't really talk about Google Gemini? I'm just going to assume that you're already familiar with this. It's Google's chatbot where you can ask questions, have it create images for you, or even create files like Google Docs directly inside of Gemini just by speaking to it in plain English. I'm sure you know all of that already. And I also wouldn't be surprised if you're already familiar with NotebookLM. This is one of Google's most popular AI tools where you can create these different notebooks and fill them with different research topics. I have one right here about the Artemis mission, and once you fill it up with sources, you can do things like create infographics, create really nice slide decks. In fact, this is what I use to create most of my slide decks now because they come out so good. And you can even create these audio overviews. Here, let's listen to this one.
Welcome back. So today we're stepping right into the heat. We're talking about saunas. And if you're just...
But one complaint I hear from a lot of people who use NotebookLM regularly is that they wish they could change the voices that are used for these audio overviews. But you do know that there actually is a tool for that. It's called Illuminate. Just like with NotebookLM, you can add sources into Illuminate and from that create these audio dialogues. But the difference is you can really dial in what the audio sounds like a lot more than you can in NotebookLM. So let me show you what I mean. Let's say I want to make some audio dialogue about what OpenClaw is. So I will grab some sources for that and we'll start adding them. So there's one, here's another one. Okay, so now we have 4 sources. Then once all your sources are added, down here you can define your audio dialogue. So if you switch it to freeform, you can choose what your host will sound like. So let's listen to a couple of these.
The rabbit pulled out a watch and muttered, "Oh dear, I'm late."
The rabbit pulled out a watch and muttered, "Oh dear, I'm late."
So I like that guy for the host, and let's pick a guest.
The rabbit pulled out a watch and muttered, "Oh."
The rabbit pulled out a watch and muttered, "Oh dear, I'm late."
And I like that one. So now we have our 2 hosts, and you can type in your prompt over here. So to give you an idea of what the prompts look like, here's one that they've created. So it says, create a conversation tailored for a general audience with a medium duration. The tone should be semi-professional. So you can make whatever you want. So I can say, for instance, create a podcast episode between the host and guest. The guest is an expert at using OpenClaw. The audience is made up of non-coders. They want to try OpenClaw, but they're not super comfortable with it. And then once it's finished, it'll sound like this.
This conversation is powered by Google Illuminate. Check out illuminate.google.com for more. Today, we're diving into the world of personal AI assistants with a focus on OpenClaw, an open source project that's making waves. We'll explore what
Personal AI agent that you can run locally on your machine.
So there you go. I hope I was able to illuminate you as to this hidden gem. Now, another hidden gem of mine is Google Vids. Google Vids is an online video editing tool. It also has built into it AI video generator, an image generator. You can record yourself or your screen. You can create AI voiceovers. There's a lot you can do with this. So here are some of the videos that I've made with it. Here's where I took a slide deck that I created before inside of inside of NotebookLM, brought it into Google Slides, and then turned it into a video here.
Welcome to Woodworking 101. Your crafting artist protect your lungs.
And then finally, this is an AI avatar, obviously an animated one that I had it make, and then gave it a voiceover. And you can see the voiceover, it matches the lips, or lips match the voiceover.
We didn't have much, but we had the woods behind the house. My brother and I would stay.
So there's a lot that you can do with Google Vids. I think it is way underrated. For small businesses that are looking for help with their marketing, you may want to check out Pomelli. You take a link to your website, you give it to Pomelli, and it will come up with your business DNA. That's made up of the fonts you use on your website, the colors you use, your brand's tagline, values, tone of voice, all of that. And using that, it will generate these assets for you. Social media posts that you can post on Instagram or Facebook, for instance, along with the copy that goes along with them. You can even do these AI-powered product photo shoots. So if you just have one photo of your product, you could turn it into all these other assets with just a few clicks. This is saving companies so much money, especially small companies who otherwise wouldn't be able to outsource this because they're just starting out and couldn't afford it. Most people know that you can create images and videos inside the Gemini app, but the best place to do that, honestly, is not in Gemini, but inside of Google Flow. This is it right here. And what's great about this is that when you generate something in here, you can choose in this menu the exact aspect ratio for the image you're generating, how many generations you want, you can do up to 4, and the exact model that will be used for the generation. So I can switch between Nano Banana Pro or Nano Banana 2 or even Imagen 4 if I wanted to. So what I like about this is that if you are a creative, if you need to generate images, and you'll notice that when you use AI image generators, a lot of times the first one that it makes doesn't look good. And sometimes if you just rerun it again, the second run will look better. Well, this runs all of them at once, kind of speeding things along. And then once you have a good first image, you can open it up and tell it what changes you want to make. So I could say something like, get rid of the earth in the background sky. And then I might use the annotation tool and say, I don't like this rover here. So I'll circle that. And then I'll say, get rid of the rover that I circled. And there you go. So for quick generations, Gemini is still better, but if you really need your image to look a very specific way, Flow is a lot better. Now, this is Flow for images and videos, but there's also a second Flow by Google. This is Google Flow Music, and this is used for creating AI music. And this is something else that you can do directly inside of Gemini, but once again, using this dedicated tool, you can dial in exactly what your sound sounds like. And one of the standout features about this is this button right here, voice mode. It's more than just dictation. Check it out. Hey, so let's work on a song together. I'm thinking something with like a fast beat and really kind of gets people up and dancing. Clean, family friendly though.
Sounds like a great idea. Let's get those lyrics going. Okay, making the song now.
But I don't want it to be for kids, just more family friendly.
Kids, but still something everyone can enjoy. Pull up the mix. Let's get this track on the floor. I've got a couple of versions for you. Check them out. Seems one of the versions got blocked by moderation. Let's try a slightly different direction to get that sophisticated dance vibe you wanted. One more version coming right up.
Yeah, so I think you get the idea. It's a lot of fun to play with. Now, if you like music, you'll also like this other app. This is Music Effects DJ. I also think this one is quite fun. So it usually starts you out with a bunch of prompts already loaded, but you can add your own. So we have some jazz, pop, and harmonica. Let's add some stand-up bass and hear what difference that makes. If I wanted to, I could turn off any of these, like the drums. You can even increase the beats per minute. Yeah, so pretty fun to play around with. Now, one of the cool things about Google is that because they have so many resources available to them, they're constantly experimenting and creating new apps and experiences. So let's talk about some of those either experimental features or tools that are still in beta that look very promising. And the first one I want to talk about is called Project Genie. This allows you to spin up these immersive virtual worlds that you can move around inside of, and you can be fully immersed inside of them for about a minute before the world collapses. So let me show you an example of how it works. You can first describe the environment. So I'll say a snowy mountain pass, and my character will be a goblin. You can change from third person to first person view. You can even upload a reference image, but we'll just keep it simple for this one. And so now I'm in my world and I can control this with my keypad, like I'm moving around here. I can even spin around the camera. I can have him jump. And all this lasts for about a minute. So this is being generated on the fly. So as I'm moving, like I'm moving more this way, all of this is being generated as I'm moving through it. It's pretty wild. So this is really an experiment at this point, and they're trying to figure out like what the long-term application for this would be. Obviously, things like video games, this could be, make a huge difference in the way people make video games. But for right now, it's just kind of a fun way to explore all these different worlds, like really anything you can come up with, you can create inside of Genie. Next, I want to talk about Disco, which is an experimental browser that's unlike anything you've ever used before. So you can use this like a traditional browser where you open up a bunch of tabs, but then at any point you can click on Gen tabs. That will then take all the information from each of your open tabs and create an AI-powered app like this one right here. This is currently available only if you join the waitlist. I have gotten access to it. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to show it, but it is really cool. It takes a little bit of time for those tabs to generate, but every time it does, it creates these really fun apps that you can interact with and learn the information that you're searching about even faster. It's very neat. Next, we'll talk about Mixboard. This is a concepting board that allows you to visualize, expand, and refine creative ideas by mixing text and image prompts in this board, this whole interactive canvas. It's designed for quickly turning rough creative ideas into a visual mood board by mixing your own photos with AI-generated concepts. Next is a tool that's only available right now for Workspace subscribers. It's called Workspace Studio. This you can use to automate your work with Gemini. So it's sort of like Zapier. It's definitely not as powerful, but check these out. So you can create a new flow here, and you can choose a trigger step. So you can set this up to run on a schedule, or you could set it up to run every time you get an email, or every time you get a chat in Google Chat, or every time a form response comes in. So I'll set it to when I get an email, and then you can choose what happens when you get that email. So you can ask Gemini, or you can ask a gem. You could have it recap that email or check something. And then, so like we'll have it recap the email, and then we'll have it notify me by email about the recap, or even send me a notification on Google Chat with the information that's recapped in that email. So there's lots of different flows that you could set up here. I've been using this and have been really happy with it. Actually, they just added some new ones. I didn't even know those ones were down here. So that's pretty cool. You can update rows, add rows, clear rows, create docs, add to docs based on any of these triggers. So it's really cool that this is included. I did find out recently though that while it's free right now, it will run on a credit system pretty soon. Next we have CC. So this is an AI productivity agent that connects with your Gmail, calendar, and Drive. So you know how everyone's like a little bit obsessed with having agents deliver for you a morning report? This is Google's take on it, but instead of having to set it up, it's just automatic. You have to join a waitlist for this. I do have access to this on my my regular Gmail account, not my Workspace account. And unfortunately, I do most of my stuff in the Workspace account, so it isn't like super helpful for me, but it would be. It is really cool. Like I put a bunch of stuff in the calendar. I still get emails on that email account, and it does bring it all in really nicely. I wish it was available on my Workspace account, because that'd be a lot more helpful. So really cool feature. Hopefully everyone gets access to this soon. Next, we have Learn Your Way. You can upload textbooks into this, and it will transform them into more dynamic and engaging learning experiences. So I'll show you an example. Let's say you want to learn about early human evolution. So with this, you can see that this is tailored to the learner. So are you a middle schooler who likes photography, or are you an undergrad who likes tennis? Let's go with a middle schooler who likes photography. And then this is the study material. So you can see some information to learn, some images and diagrams. And then coming down here, it'll ask you a quiz on what you just read. There's also slides and narration, audio lessons, and mind maps. So it's pretty cool. I don't really know if this is necessary when you already have NotebookLM, but I guess it is pretty cool. Next, we'll jump into my phone because I want to show you 2 free apps from Google that are available in here. The first one is called Google AI Edge Gallery. This is an AI chat, but what's different about it is that you download a local model onto your phone, so it is completely offline, completely private. So we can start the chat here, click on this and ask it something like, what is the tallest building in the world? And it'll send me an answer based on its training. So it's not able to access the internet to search in real time. So it's pulling all of this from the training. You could also upload images and have it look at those images and pull information from them. Has some audio stuff. You can create skills. It's really handy to have. Like I used this when I was on a flight because they didn't have good Wi-Fi on the flight. So it is helpful sometimes to just kind of have this as a backup on your phone. It doesn't take up a lot of room. The other app I want to show you is this one. It's called Google AI Edge Eloquent, and this is a dictation tool. So I can click on record. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's not going to work because I'm screen sharing it from my phone to my computer. But this is an AI dictation tool. So you click on record, it will listen to you and then transcribe it and even clean it up. So if you toggle this on, it will enhance the text with cleanup. But if you leave this off, again, this is completely private, offline, just on your device. For this next group, I'm also going to get through them pretty quickly because I'm not quite sure how useful these ones are. But anyway, let's check them out. So the first one is called TextFX. And what you do is you select one of these, I don't even know what you call them, one of these buttons up here, these keys. So I'll select the alliteration one. You put in a topic like animals. I'll select a letter. You run it, and it'll just find for you animals that start with the letter A. So we could also do like unexpected. So I'll enter in a scene. So maybe a man walking in the desert. Click on run, and it will automatically take that scene and make it unexpected. A man walking in the desert, leaving footprints that glow with bioluminescence. So I guess it's cool for being like creative and stuff. A lot of these AI tools start out as independent things, and then they are incorporated into more popular apps. Like this might be added into Gemini, for instance. Here's another one. It's called Career Dreamer. It's a playful way to explore career possibilities with AI. So start by interviewing you. So like here it's asking me what previous roles I've had. So I can say I was a scuba instructor. Then it'll ask me some more questions. And then from that, it will tell you what career path you might be able to choose in the world or in the field of AI. Then we have Sparkify. This is also waitlist only. I haven't been able to test it, but what it does is you put in a question or an idea and it turns them into these short animated videos. So here's an example.
Ever see those giant orange red towers in San Francisco? That's the famous Golden Gate before the bridge.
Yeah, so it's kind of neat, but again, I don't know what the purpose of this is when we already have tools like vids.new or Gemini or Flow. It just feels a little bit redundant. But again, this might be one of those tools that is then incorporated into one of those existing ones. Similarly, little language lessons are AI-generated language lessons. So if you want to do like a quick lesson to learn another language, you can click through like this, choose what language you want to learn, and put in the purpose or the theme. So I can say like going out to eat, and it'll find vocabulary and phrases for me to help me with my Chinese if I'm going out to eat somewhere where I need to speak Chinese. Again, this is another one where I'm sure that there are already apps like Gemini that can help with this, so it seems a little bit redundant. Similarly, Learnabout is a tool where you can upload a PDF or type in a URL to get a new reading tool that helps analyze and guide you through questions and concepts. But again, you can already do this with NotebookLM and Gemini. And then we have Portraits. So these are AI conversations that were created with real people who inspire, apparently. There's not a lot of them here. So let's say you want to talk with a Silicon Valley girl. You can click on this. You can read about this person, click on chat, or even talk with them live.
Hey there, I'm the Digital Marina. As your ambition architect, I'm here to help you move forward. Let's spend the next 5 or 10 minutes talking about things like applying productivity hacking or building your
How do I be more productive?
That's a question I get a lot, and it's something I've spent years figuring out for myself. It sounds like you're looking for...
What's the quick answer?
The quickest answer is to focus on productivity hacking. It's all about finding clever...
All right. And then finally, we have GenType. This might be the strangest one on the list. So, okay. So this is exactly what I was talking about. This used to be a standalone tool, and now it's been incorporated into Google AI Studio. So I guess it's no longer on the list. But what this did was you would put in like a theme like ladybugs, and then you could type with images that were created to match that theme. So it was like just a very interesting tool, but this is exactly what I mean, right? Standalone, people are like, what is the purpose of this? And then it gets incorporated into a larger tool like Google AI Studio. Google also has this entire subdomain called Arts and Culture. And on this, there are a ton of these experimental AI features that are looking to explore different cultures. There's a lot of them. This one is all about Sanskrit. This one right here is going through the National Gallery. It's a mix of personalized soundtracks inspired by paintings in the National Gallery created by Google AI. Here's another one that these are walking tours of different areas of the world. Here's Food Mood, get inspiration for your next meal and create new recipes mixing influences from two cuisines. Here's another one. This is for choreography. This one is Say What You Mean, learn the art of image prompting with the help of Google AI. So this one's actually a little bit neat. Let me launch this one. So over here on the left, they show you an image, and over here on the right, you have to type out what you see. So I could say a canvas hung on a wall with a blue circle painted in the middle. And I got a 71% match on that. So why I think this one is actually a little bit neat, because I think that this can help you quite a bit with prompting. If you have an image in your mind, how do you describe that image? So I could see this being helpful for training your mind on how to prompt. We also have Viola the bird. This one is super interesting. So it's just a bird that plays music. I don't know, it's kind of fun. Then we have moving archives, where they've taken old photos and brought them to life. So these are all like Harley Davidson original, like old photos. So that's kind of cool, but yeah. Anyway, and then we have Talking Tours India. I'm not sure, honestly, if I got all the arts and culture AI experiences, but that is certainly a good taste of all of them. Next, let's talk a bit more about Gemini, but not Gemini in the app. We're going to talk about some other places you can access Gemini that you may not know about. One of them is directly inside of Google Search. They now have AI mode. So if you ask a question in here, like what is Viola the bird, it will not just give you a standard Google response. It actually gives you an AI response along with links that you can then click on like a traditional search. You can also actually ask Gemini directly in the browser. So over here on the top right, there's an Ask Gemini button, and you can talk to it in here. With this though, you can also do some pretty cool stuff. So if I click on tools, or actually you don't even have to say any, what? I got browser skills. I've been waiting for these. Okay, so I didn't have access to these for a long time and I just got them. So skills are a way that you can have repeatable prompts come up over and over again. You never have to repeat them ever again. You can just build a skill for them. These are currently only available for the browser on Chrome, and I haven't seen them anywhere else in Gemini yet, but I have heard that they are coming. So for instance, I can add a skill here that says something like, take all the info on this page and summarize it with bullet points. So now when I go to some article, I can just type / and then my bulleted summary, send that along, and it's like I typed out that whole prompt. You can also use something called auto browse. This is where Gemini can actually click around in the browser for you and navigate for you. So this makes sense when you need it to fill out forms for you or do repetitive tasks. Definitely not as fast as a human doing it, but the nice thing is you can walk away and then come back and then the task will be finished. Inside of Gmail, there are also a few features. The first one I want to show you is AI Inbox. This sorts through all the emails in your inbox and categorizes them by to-do list items and topics you need to catch up on. Really neat for being able to look very quickly and see what you have to do to clear out your inbox. The other feature is called Help Me Write. So inside any reply or message on Gmail, down here at the bottom is a Help Me Write button. This is really cool. I use this every day, many times a day, because all you have to do now is just kind of like brain dump what you want to say in here, completely unformatted, and then it will make it look nice for you. So if I'm sending out an email, I could say something like this. It's just like a bunch of thoughts in my head, not even spelled correctly, a lot of typos, whatever, it doesn't matter. Click on create, and it'll polish it up for you. This has made me so lazy because I don't really type anything out anymore legibly. And then this just cleans it up and makes it look great. Then you can click on insert and make any changes you want and then send it off. Google Drive also has a ton of AI features now. They have this new thing called projects. So if you click on this, you can create these different projects and bring into this anything from Google Drive. So docs, sheets, slides, even some of your emails. And then you can chat with all that information in here. So it's sort of like NotebookLM in that sense. You can also ask Gemini questions about your drive up here in the search bar. It's a lot better than it used to be because Gemini's in there. Within any Google Docs, there's a new Gemini button down here. You can ask it to update anything in here. So I can say like, make the title better. Obviously I wouldn't just say that, but you get the idea. And then it'll show you a recommendation. I can accept or reject that. Then inside of Sheets, same kind of thing. You can open up Gemini on the side. This can build formulas for you, do calculations. There's also this really cool thing called Canvas. So if you click down here and click on create a canvas, and then that'll bring up Canvas here on the right. And I can say create an interactive dashboard. And then it will create an interactive dashboard like this using the data. The final one for this category is Gemini and Google Meet. This can take notes for you and translate if the person you're meeting with doesn't speak the same language as you. The last category is for coders and developers, something I admittedly don't know much about, but I do know quite a bit about what you can do with the first three tools because I really believe that anyone can use these, even if you don't code, because they're perfectly set up for things like vibe coding. First one I want to show you is Google AI Studio. This is it right here. Over here on the left, there are two sections. One is Playground and one is Build. So Playground is sort of like Gemini Chat. You can chat with the models in here, create images, create videos. And what's neat about this is that you can choose exactly which model you want to use. So you're not limited to just the ones that Gemini gives you. Like if you wanted to use Imagen 4, you could choose that one. Or you can choose the latest image generation models like Nano Banana 2 or Nano Banana Pro, video models, audio models, music models, all of it. And then inside of Build, this is what you can use to vibe code different apps. It's really fun to kind of play around in here. But if this looks maybe slightly too complicated for you, try out Opal. This is also built into the Gemini app. If you click on Gems on the left, you'll see these Opal apps. And this is the same thing where you can vibe code these little apps directly inside of Gemini or inside of Opal here. And the third one that's a bit more consumer friendly is Google's Anti-Gravity. This is an app that you can download for macOS. I'm not sure if it's available for Windows. I think it might be. And it's sort of similar to Claude Code or Codex. It's not quite as user-friendly as Cowork or Codex for that matter, but it's like Google's version of that for now. So it interacts with files locally on your computer. You can have it update files, different things like that, and it connects to third-party stuff. So not super user-friendly for non-technical people, but a lot of coders use it. Stitch is designed for helping people design with AI for really UI. So if you're looking to try to get your app to look beautiful and perfect, this is a tool a lot of people use for that. Then we have Code. This is Google Code. I wasn't quite sure what this was. So this is an AI native software development tool focused on natural language driven vibe coding. And it features tools such as Product Canvas, Weave Editor, and Design. Then we have Stack. Stacks is an AI evaluation platform that allows you to assess and benchmark generative AI models. Then we have Firebase Studio. So Firebase Studio is someplace that if you're looking to develop an app, you can come in here, build the back end, the front end, and everything for your mobile app all in one place. Jules is one that you can use to, so this is autonomous agent coding. So this will actually code for you autonomously. And then we have Collab, which is an AI-driven all-purpose coding partner seamlessly embedded in your notebook, in the notebook you already use. And then finally, we have Gemini Code Assist. So if you're a coder or developer, those are all the tools available to you by Google. All right, I think I did it. I think I got all the Google AI apps. So if you appreciate me going through all that effort, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and let me know that in the comments section down below. Or if I missed any apps, let me know which ones I missed in the comments. The trouble is, Gemini is now inside of pretty much every Google product, even if it's not a standalone AI app. For instance, you can also use AI inside of Google Maps and Google Earth. So covering all of those in one video, I think would be pretty much impossible, but I think I got all the at least AI apps. Now, I know we ran through a lot of things very quickly. So what I'm going to do for you is I'll have links in the description of this video to more in-depth tutorials about a lot of the tools I covered today. There's a video on Gemini, which I'll actually put on the screen right here for you, and I'll put one about NotebookLM right here. There will be even more links in the description though. For instance, I made one video about Google AI Studio, one about Pomelli, and one about Google Flow Music. Or you can check out one of these two videos, and I'll see you over there in 1 second. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.